Festivities have officially begun for the 2024 Monster Energy FIM Motocross of Nations, happening this year at Matterley Basin in the United Kingdom. Friday was full of a lot of different activities. Track walk for the riders to be able to check out the track for the first time. Quite a few changes to the track as well, so guys got to get a look at that as well. And then the crucial gate selection ballot that happens on Friday to determine the qualifying race gate picks for Saturday. That happens with 2 ping pong balls. The nations are selected in one ping ball, and then the number gate that goes with that nation is selected in another ping pong ball. I'll show you guys that graphic in just a moment. And then a few big announcements at the end after a team presentation where all the basically big nations went up on stage and talked about their chances of winning this weekend. And then, of course, like I said, some big announcements that we'll hit on in just a moment. But of course, the gate selection ballot was the big thing today. Guys got to determine their gate selection going into the qualifying races tomorrow. 3 qualifying races for MXGP, MX2, and Open classes. And your gate selection on Friday goes through for all of those races. So let's go ahead and take a look at where some of those key nations will be lining up on Saturday. Once the gate selection ballots were complete, the teams went up on stage and spoke to the media about what they felt coming into this weekend's Motocross of Nations. Team France was happy to see a few track changes just to mix it up a little bit from their regular Matterley Basin racetrack that they go to here. They obviously drew gate pick 12 for the qualifying races and go into this one as the defending champions with Maxime Renault, Tom Vial, and Romain Fevre. Team Australia had a last-minute switch-up coming into the weekend where they switched Jet Lawrence and Hunter Lawrence. Jet Lawrence going from MXGP to Open, Hunter Lawrence from Open to MXGP, both still riding 450s this weekend. But they did that with the onus in mind of making Jet Lawrence have the shorter break. He will go race 2 and race 3 on Sunday, whereas Hunter Lawrence in MXGP will go race 1 to race 3. He'll have a longer break in between, perhaps to recover. Kyle Webster in the MX2 class is riding a factory Honda HRC 250 in MX2 this weekend, so Australia is all under the same tent. They will go to the gate tomorrow from gate 17. Team USA spoke coming straight from their track walk and actually said that they felt this track looked similar to Steel City in the vibes of the racetrack and the soil surface as well. They go from gate pick 24 on Saturday, but Eli Tomac said that he feels this is one of the more fair starts that he has seen, and it shouldn't be too much of a problem of getting a decent start from anywhere on the gate. Unfortunately for Hopefuls Team Germany, they drew last gate pick, which was 36th of the 36 runners of nations going tomorrow on the qualifying races. Ken Roczen, of course, spearheading the German effort with Simon Langenfelder and Max Nagel alongside of him. But Roczen says Matterley has been his favorite track for a very long time. He's very excited to be back here. And even though they are going from the outside, we have seen some very good starts from outside gate picks as well here at Matterley Basin. Team Belgium was perhaps not even going to be here this weekend, and then they drew gate 1 for the qualifying races. It all happened because Sasha Kunin was injured last weekend and had to withdraw from MX2. They were going to pull Lucas Kunin from a 450 and put him in that MX2 division, but allegedly he had said no. They went and talked about it. Belgium announced that they were not going to be coming, and then suddenly about an hour later, they were back in with Lucas Kunin in that MX2 spot. They bring in Brent Van Donnick to fill a spot on a 450 alongside Iago Geerts, so still a very competitive team, but not what they were expecting coming in with potentially the Kunin brothers and Iago Geerts. Team Spain goes from gate 4 tomorrow, which of course is huge news for now 2-time world champion Jorge Prado, and he will have a great gate selection, and we know that his starting prowess is very good. He's joined, of course, by Oriol Oliver in the 250 class and Ruben Fernandez on the factory HRC Honda in Open, so it'll be a very competitive Team Spain once again. Where they'll finish could depend on how qualifying goes for them tomorrow. The Netherlands landed a bit a stroke of luck as they will go from gate 8. Of course, Jeffrey Hurlings is eyeing to win the MXGP class, and now new MX2 world champion Kai de Wolf hopes he can win in MX2. Their potential weak link will be Glenn Koldenhoff, but Koldenhoff has performed very well at Nations in the past, and this could be a powerhouse team that once again will fight for the win at the Motocross of Nations. So once all the teams spoke, there was finally some announcements to be had, and of course the big news is in 2025, the Motocross of Nations will be ran at Ironman Raceway. We knew that that was likely coming. A lot of changes to Ironman racetrack this year to potentially bid on going into the Motocross of Nations for 2025, but Ironman will join a slew of U.S. tracks that have now hosted Motocross of Nations since 2000. Of course, Budds Creek, Thunder Valley in 2010, and Redbud the last handful of times that we've come to the USA. Ironman, though, takes over for 2025, and of course, it'll be a fantastic racetrack to see all of the world's best talents lining up on the gate there in Crawfordsville, Indiana. Along with that, Ernee was announced that they will again host the Motocross of Nations in 2026, having just hosted it in 2023. That was announced back in 2021. There was going to be 2 Ernee Motocross of Nations races, 23 and 26, but this was just a reaffirmation from the FIM that that is the plan still going forward. So the next 2 nations will be at Ironman and Ernee for 2025 and 2026. And that's sort of your wrap from Friday at the Motocross of Nations. Qualifying races will go off tomorrow morning, 6:20 a.m. Pacific. That is 9:20 a.m. Eastern. You can check it out on mxgp-tv.com. There's also some local listings, I believe, for the USA to maybe air it on Sunday. But the qualifying races definitely will be watched through there. It kicks off with the MXGP qualifying race at that 6:20 time. Then an hour later, the MX2 qualifying race and the open class qualifying race an hour after that. That is the only time all weekend that the individual classes will basically race one another before we combine them all together for the racing on Sunday. We'll be here on SYS Moto all weekend trying to provide you guys with as many rapid updates on the event as possible, so please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and check back with us as we cover the 2024 Motocross of Nations.